polls, the coaches poll and the AP poll, to get who's winner. So in 1993, West Virginia was number 1 in the coaches poll, number 2 in the AP poll, and Nebraska was number 1 in the AP poll and number 2 in the coaches poll. So beyond the doubt, it should have been West Virginia and Nebraska, right? Both polls are lining up, but it just wasn't in the cards, and they ended up getting Florida State. So Florida State can try all they want to, and I agree with you, Florida State. You should have been in the playoffs this year, one way or the other, and maybe they should have just went ahead and implemented the 12-team playoff this year. And actually, they could have. You know what? Don't tell me they can't change things. Look at COVID year; they changed everything during the COVID year, including bowl games, and that was short notice. So don't tell me they can't say we're going to have a 16 playoff this year or an 18 playoff this year.
And Florida State didn't have to cry then.
Yeah, because they did it. They did it during the COVID years. So don't tell me they can't do it again. Right? That's maybe.
They were 11-0, and Terry Bowden was their head coach. I know exactly who was.
Nebraska was 11-0. West Virginia was 11-0. Auburn was 11-0. But FSU was 10-1, and ended up getting into national championship.
Right. Look who got snubbed. Auburn.
Did they not even make the so this was after the SEC championship started. I don't see a date for that on Auburn's schedule.
I also
did they even
I also think Notre Dame could have gotten snubbed there too, because they beat that same Florida State team and ended up with the same record.
Waylon. Max just reminded us Auburn was on probation.
I don't care what they were on.
They can't get snubbed. They were on probation.
Who said they were on probation? For what?
For cheating, according to Max.
I don't remember what it was about, but I do remember Auburn being on probation then.
1993. I was still an old man in 93. I don't remember him being on probation.
I was too. I was an old man in 93 too. The same way as you.
Look it up, Chris, and see if they were on probation. I'm not telling you a liar,
but not the death penalty. So this was August 18th. It was hit. So it says Auburn's football program, which Pat Dye built into a national powerhouse in the 1980s. Salute to Bo Jackson, by the way. Was hit with 2 years probation today for Dye-era sins exposed by Eric Ramsey. Auburn, one of the National Collegiate, I'll just sum it up, NCAA's most heavily penalized schools, also was handed a 1-year television blackout and voluntarily agreed to reduce its football scholarships over a 3-year period. I want to find out what they did, though. It goes on.
Yeah, but they didn't. They didn't say anything about.
Okay, so this is what it is. Auburn University, accepted NCAA sanctions stemming from secret tape recordings made by Ramsey. Let me scroll back up.
Okay, Michigan's on the docket now. So now we've got something.
But they're not going to get a death penalty for it today. But back then,
that's it, though. Auburn was held out of the national championship game in '93 for that very reason, right? Because they were 11-0.
Were they going around trying to steal signs then? Is that what I was fixing to read about?
I guess that's what you just said, but no, they let's read it again there and make sure.
Let's see. 6 major violations. 3 involved giving cash payments to Ramsey. A 4th cited Dye's program for a lack of proper institutional control. The other 2, both new to the case and provided to the NCAA by Auburn itself, cited the school for allowing athletes to play without meeting all eligibility requirements and exceeding the number of permissible grants and aid. So there's a lot of stuff it looks like they did that they got they got wrong.
What about 2011? I remember 2011. What about 2011 when it had 2 SEC?